This is going to be a compact video. Okay, let's start with the matrix. So matrix is all about the heart. Matrix starts in heart hotel, right? Heart O City hotel. O the heart city? O the city? No? This is the heart. It doesn't actually fucking... What the... They couldn't even put a picture. What the fuck is that? This sign up there. The heart sign. Fucking stupid people. Finally. And the E's actually removed. Shut the fuck up. View image, right? The E is removed for some reason. This is very interesting. It turns into art. It sort of is art. Or dependent heavily on art. Very interesting, right? What does the heart means and how does it work? And all of a sudden the E got removed. I figured out what this means and why the E and S are blue. You would think that's just jumping around. But at the same time, you have to recognize that Mr. Beast has an open heart and he lives more in the Matrix than the real world. It is quite a weird... Socialism is Matrix. The moment you socialize, you enter a self-destructive round unless you're a child being taken care of by someone. Meaning that you're capable of seeing things that you want to see, right? That you want to invest your attention into so you could learn. But when you come out yet again into the social realm, then you're dealing with love. Because you have sort of blood on your hands, but you sort of have a lot of dreams that you want to succeed in life. And you definitely need to connect it to the right people. It is very difficult to actually tell when the person is ready for socialism, but the personal work that you have to do is to dig deep into the earth, understand who you are, understand what other people are, sort of connect to them. But then what? When does the breakthrough happen when you come back to socialism? Where do you do it? Do you go to a party? You follow the white rabbit and actually go to the party? Selena Gomez, are you white rabbit? Because the moment I tune into her heart, that was just a jump. Someone just jumped into my heart and just tuned in really quickly. But it's almost like for different purpose. It's almost like this happened. This is a video of Mr. Beast going back to the first grade for a day. It's a very weird and very hectic video. The hexes that I found is him wearing the red shirt at the first grade, making a thumbnail or a title going back to the first grade for a day, meaning that he didn't actually mention going through 12 grades or anything. He just mentions that first grade. For some reason, it's very important to him. And the red shirt, and even the red, notebook, this is very important for him. The start. The ability to jump as well. This is kind of weird, right? Does it symbolize aggression or something? Does it symbolize love? Does it symbolize the heart? Now, when you see the heart, it works. That one works. And I do feel a lot of people. When I watch them, I start feeling them. When I listen to their songs, I start feeling them as well. It's just such a natural thing that is sort of overtuned by technology, right? So you see them in a distance, and the distance doesn't really apply because, the heart feels things, and it feels the way, the other person would feel. Uh, it has been explored by science already that you do feel through a distance, regardless of what that distance even is. Regardless whether you're friends or not, obviously that would only increase the tuning, basically. Nobody talks about it as they should really talk about it, because it's one of the most important things to actually understand. One of the most powerful things to appreciate. What really opened me up to become a just normal human being and to realize how much worse the human condition is, much worse than I ever could have imagined. And at the same time, my life could be so much better if I just find the right things. It simply amplified the things that I already carried within me, which is that it is impossible to find a job that you can appreciate. I can't even keep a job anymore at all because I just die inside. I just die because I have bigger dreams, right? So I'm desperately looking for a society to actually read through me and put me in the right place. Although society sort of automatically doesn't want to do that. It's sort of, you have to take your own ego into a course, into some kind of course of a challenge. But then again, Mr. Beast is probably the only person who puts up challenges in the first place and rewards people with actual resources. And it's like, that's it. That's the guy that I actually need to rebuild the world itself, which is like fucking weird, right? It is deep, but he is deep, okay? He sees the sun and moon projection, which is PewDiePie versus T-Series. He supports PewDiePie because he's sort of forced to do that because he probably doesn't know what T-Series stands for. By the way, PewDiePie is over here, the snake guy, the snake oil salesman who sells memes that get stuck in your head, that becomes the bees, basically, in a sense. And then the sun is T-Series Boruto. Weird, right? Why would that be T-Series? Why would Indian music be the sun? Well, you turn it to whatever you want it to be, because most people don't know Indian, right? That is the kicker, right? You tune into the music and you feel things instead of actually caring of what they mean, which is quite very dangerous. Memes and mumble rap community. It's not rap, by the way. PewDiePie just underappreciates how important T-Series is as a resource. But it also has to go down. In fact, Mr. Beast controls the water. I control the earth. I'm very well hidden, by the way. Mr. Beast is probably the only hope for me to even survive. Right, so I'm probably gonna leave my channel on this video for quite a while. Not making anything new, just trying to improve myself if I can even survive. If I even have the guts to survive, because I don't. Again, we can go back to this very interesting presentation, basically. First of all, talking about the bees, of how they die after having sex, which is sort of true in real life. If you think about it, sperm has to go through into this super amazing reality where it survives all of a sudden. It is the chosen one. And the woman gets pregnant. The woman probably can choose the right feeling of when to get pregnant and everything. But most importantly, love is a juggle. The invention of condoms actually created a very nasty juggle. In fact, You know, should just embrace masturbation, which turned into a sin, which is like, whoa, there are social constructs beyond my wildest dreams right now that have to go down. So many things have to go down. Many of technologies have to go down. Family as a social construct has to go down. Paperwork has to go down. Cars have to go down. Lack of challenge has to go down. People not talking to each other has to come up. More free things have to come up. So people are attracted to, visiting stores and actually wanting to, embrace existence of things, but there has to be free stuff. So newbies would be attracted to, and most importantly, like in UK, you have multiculturalism, which obviously doesn't work because you already have internet. You don't need people to be here in the first place that are different cultures. You want cultures to actually come together as a mold, as something that you can mix things around with, something that's actively being mixed and actively being taken care of. In fact, UK is probably the biggest prison island there is. Try to prove me wrong, because I feel imprisoned. I feel like the police doesn't actually exist here. I don't have friends, nor am I encouraged to look for friends, nor do I bump into people that would turn me into a friend. None of that stuff. I don't know where to go or look. Obviously, I could force myself to go into a bar and search for friends. I don't want to do that because I never actually learned the culture of going into a bar and not buying anything, which is also an insecurity because you have to be a drinker. So where else do you go? Do you go to a party? If I'm not drinking, then I probably am blocked from everything except playing with other people, which is not happening. It's such a simple thing. It's just play. Just play something. Challenge me into something. I'm gonna be your friend. Blah. Mr. Beast understands this aspect so very well, and I really want to reach out to him as fast as possible. Really, it's really my only hope to survive, because he must understand what this climaxes do. Basically, the whole world dies, not just the bee. The female dies as well. When the man and woman comes together, the female wants to create life. The man wants to conquer life. Right? So they can in fact come together and realize, okay, we can compromise. Right? The woman will create life and will sacrifice quite a bit of her own life, and the man will make sure that the death prospect is going to be satisfying. They can sort of take care of the child, but they don't have to. They will sort of come together as a family, but they don't have to do that. The man is just simply going to take care of the resources and make sure that he's sort of the policeman around the world, not just the house. The man simply takes care of the chores that women has of living life, right? So when you have sex, you actually have to take care of the heart, the new heart that you fell in love with, right? That's what women want to do, is make sure that you fall in love with them. I have cheated that system, and I made women fall in love with me without even knowing that. They don't even know or care, but they have no ability to escape because the heart feels through the distance. They act upon my rules without even knowing or being able to appreciate that, because they're fucking stupid and blinded by the sun or the moon. I don't give a fuck what blinds you right now. I'm in control of quite a lot of things. And when I realized that, I immediately took consideration of controlling celebrities with this black magic, right? It's like, oh shit. Uh-huh. It's very interesting how PewDiePie is actually blaming Dark Magician. You're a Dark Magician and I am the Wise White Dragon. PewDiePie, you're garbage. Because you don't even know who Dark Magician is, but he probably targeted the right audience, which is me. I got very offended by that. It really got stuck deep inside of me. Not in terms of like, oh, I'm offended. No, it's a definition of who I am. I'm deep in darkness. I'm playing with magic. I'm playing with death at this point. I don't give a fuck anymore about life. So I'm pretty deep in here. I really want to, again, contact Beast. The other thing that's very interesting, something that really pisses me off, is the fact that there are more fake flamingos in the world than the real ones. The world is becoming a more artificial place, even though it doesn't have to be. We could just embrace reality and nature as it is, and nature has a lot of things to offer, in fact, that we are losing. We're forgetting a lot of things because we just allow the state to manifest, and now we have, again, a lot of things that we should remove and add in consideration. It is apocalyptic. Once more, if there ever was an apocalypse, this is it. If minds ever predicted anything, they are 6 years too early in ending their calendar, or the calendar ended and now we have to slowly untangle the web and figure out that this is apocalypse. We have to start all over again and figure out what life even is anymore. And we should have very much noted that they're sort of right. Whatever minds were and whatever ancient information still got stuck within us because of people being bored and discovering very weird things. I am not bored. I am dying. I was dying my entire life. I was forced into the situation where I wanted to learn communication because, well, first of all, I felt a lot of insecurities and I felt like a very shy person. So I wanted to communicate before I get, pointed a finger at and I can't do anything, really. I wanted to at least have control over how people talk to me, right? I wanted to at least have that, and I couldn't get it in the end. In the end, I realized that people are just stupid. People just want to feel good about themselves, and when that is the case, it's just absolute disaster. Because there's so many ways to feel good about yourself on your own terms, and then share that with other people, and then feel even better because you have been able to share it. You have created an access of resource that you can in fact share, and not specialize yourself in order to be able to share resources, which is like you're sacrificing so much in order to get to that top level where people even see you as a resource, which is fucking mentally insane, right? You try so hard to become someone else's resource, and then you are upset that your life sucks. When I am not upset that my life sucks, I blame people who made it suck in the first place. I blame environment, and for the right reasons. Because my whole life, again, I have been learning all these things. And only recently I have been put into the matrix, learning the heart, and learning how manipulative people are. Incredibly manipulative. In so many deep levels. It's incredible. They are hungry. They're zombies, vampires, they're monsters. Holy shit. They're everywhere. And the moment you interact with them, their ego wakes up and wants to suck you up like crazy. I haven't yet learned how to take advantage of them. I know this basic strategy, right? Some very basic strategies, but I don't actually yet know how to take advantage of that to where, I can at least purify the earth, which should be my number one goal. I just don't have hope because there are people, right? My hope is just to find someone who wants to do the same thing. If I cannot do that, there's no reason to actually even begin anything. I could be one of those first people, the founders of the super movement, because I should have been founded by New World Order or something, some kind of deep state project, but none of that is happening either. It is all over the place. It's reading my heart. It's reading everything that I am doing because I'm sort of super tuned into that. And I feel more control over myself than you would normally have in a person because I'm constantly thinking. I'm constantly trying to take control over the conversation so I would, again, be able to communicate. I'm a programmer, right? I'm trying to understand language, first and foremost, so it is as efficient as possible. So I understand what I'm saying, I understand what the other person is saying in every piece of the word. It has to flow quickly and painlessly. It has to not get stuck anywhere. You should not be wondering, what kind of flamingos is he talking about and why? It's the feeling of fakeness, right? People faking themselves or becoming consumers. He is missing one point. Consumerism, right? Something that he's embracing himself because he has sort of no other choice. He's an idol, right? He's an idol to other people. And that's the last resort that he has, is just giving up money, giving up a resource that could change a lot of people's lives in a decent way if he just would be smarter. If he teams up with me, we can do a lot of things. And we shouldn't look at each other as like, oh, you're famous and you're not anti-famous. We should look at each other as, you have resources, I have resources. Together we can do more things than PewDiePie can do with T-Series, because for some reason they don't want to come together and cooperate. I guess PewDiePie is the coldest guy in the universe, and T-Series is the hottest thing in the universe. So if they would come together, they would just melt each other, flame would fade out eventually, and the cold would just become nothing, right? This is why vampires are so afraid of death. They become nothing in the end. In the end, it doesn't even matter, because Chester is a vampire. Or was a vampire, if he's dead. Is he really dead, though? Because most of the time I don't even feel that people are dead. Especially when there is a possibility of reincarnation and stealing other people's even bodies. Like, there's some weird shit, absolutely weird shit, that probably are possible on this planet, but still, like, we need to find that level of happiness, the level of ego, where magic does in fact happen, so we actually have a world evolving and not resetting. Because the world will reset for a lot of people when they die. You probably have an opportunity to create a copy or a better version of the world that they would enjoy living in. I mean, we all should be sort of gods in the first place. Anyways, that's enough for me. Hopefully I'm gonna get through. I know my target. I know what I want to do. We just gotta do it and get there. Cheers.